so we're back and we're going to do some mottling. Now, green's a great color. You can lighten it with white, you can lighten it with light green, and you can lighten it with yellow. I'm actually going to use some sky from the underside because A, it's pre-thinned, and B, I think it'll give us enough of a lift of color without making it too light, because we don't want to make it too stark. Bearing in mind though, it's got to be enough of a color lift that it doesn't get lost when we come back in and start doing the oil weathering. We can lighten the paint then. Sometimes it plays just to lighten it before we start sealing it with varnishes and whatnot, just to give ourselves a little bit of a head start. So about 3 brushfuls into the paint that was left over from the first base coat. It's giving us a nice warm green. Blow through, wait until you see the lighter colour coming through, and then we'll pick a panel. So we may as well start from this side of the wing. We want to focus on the centres of the panels roughly. We could do the front edge. We want to put very, very, very patchy finish down. Don't go too heavy. We want to spray very, very lightly here. Just enough to give a hint of fading. There we go. So with 3 brushfuls we can see just exactly how much that's lightened the paint. You should be able to be seeing that on camera. We're getting that tonal variation straight away. Don't worry if you think you've overdone it. You can always come back with a base colour and then bring it back down. You can use this for areas that the crew might have stood on, you know, around the fuel cap here. This is where they'll work a lot filling the fuel, so we can highlight those areas a little more. We can use it here on the engine nacelle where they might be working, or just to define that shape a little more. You can even use it just to highlight or sharpen up the demarcation line. But what we want to do is just use our imagination to break the paint up. There we go. We'll put some in here around the fuel can. We'll put some here. Try and keep it as random as you can. We'll go onto the top surface here. This will weather a lot here. We just want to lighten that up a little bit. Here. And I'm going to go in here. And even down on the tail here, we can go in here and just lift these panels a little bit. Motley, blotchy, just a hint of colour. Just enough. If you want, you can take it right back. Give it a very, very faint spray over and just lighten the whole paint up. So I'm going to go over the rest of this model, and you can see I've done about half of it, and that's in about a minute and a half. So I'm going to go over the rest of the model, and then we'll come back and see what like it is when I'm done. Right, we are back, and I've just crashed on just as I was describing, and I've got, missed a bit, just about the whole airframe post shaded and lightened, sun bleached, weathered, whatever you want to call it. And I think you can, well, I'm really happy with the overall finish of the model. I think we've got some nice wear areas here, you know, where they've been fueling up. Define that a little bit more maybe. So they've got nice mottling, nice sun bleaching, and yeah, overall I'm really happy. And the beauty of this is you can always come back in and do more if you want to mess around with it, but I think we're going to leave it at that. So what we need to do now is unmask the aircraft and just see what we've managed to achieve in a couple hours of painting, which isn't much at all really. So we'll start with the engine nacelles, and then we'll go to the tail. And this is why we've had to mask here, because obviously the sky, we want to retain that without getting any overspray on it. Now when you're peeling masks off, try and peel the tape as flat as you can to avoid any tearing. For anyone that's interested, I usually advertise this, well, advertise it, but tell everyone the brand I use. Obviously I use Tamiya tape, 10mm. Closest thing I've found to it is a company called Tessa tape. You can buy it off Amazon. It's slightly yellower than the Tamiya tape, but it is as good as Tamiya tape. Even it's probably got a slightly lesser tack on it. Not so much that it's going to come peeling off. It really does stick very well, but it's low tack enough that I've never really had problems with it pulling paint up. So just roll the tape back, and then we want to take it here, and you can see we've got a little bit of overspray we're going to have to fix just there. It's not a problem. That's dead easy. So a nice pointed pair of tweezers, and we pull that back. We've got beautiful demarcation line there. That's about the only time that I mask, is when I want that. The instructions denote a hard demarcation line, so it's worth taking your time to get that line in, and really starts showing the aircraft off for what it is. So just go in, catch the edge of the tape, try not to scratch your paint finish you've just spent ages doing. And then just roll that tape down. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Have a quick eyeball down. Is it at level? It is. It's nice. Let's go to the front of the aircraft now. And it's a big step forward. When you get the main camo colours down and you've done a bit of weathering and fading and stuff, it's a real big step forward, big boost for the modeler. There's a nice wavy line there at the front. Need to do a little touching in here with sky, which I was anticipating was going to happen, so I'm not too fussed about it. But we've got a beautiful demarcation line at the front. So the areas we need to think about: are we happy with the engine nacelles? I think I am. So we need to touch in here. This side's okay, and we need just to touch in here and here, which is really not very much when you consider how much paint we've done on this aircraft. But I hope you'd agree with me that we've got a really nice weathered aircraft. It's ready for a gloss coat, for sealing it in, because this is obviously matte, it's very porous. If we're going to do oil weathering, we don't want it to be too porous. So I'll probably use, what have we got here, X35 semi-gloss matte, semi-gloss varnish from Tamiya. It's very, very nice to seal this in. So that'll be the next coat I do on this after I've repaired the sky. And then we can think about getting the decals on, sealing them in, and then we can move on to weathering. I do have the drop tanks to paint. I'm thinking, just looking at the positions, they're possibly going to be earth, because they're both under sections of earth, so that makes it easier. So we'll get them painted as well and varnished, so we can get the decals on them. But all in all, I hope you agree that it's quite turning into be quite an interesting model, and very different from the PV1 Ventura that we built just before this, where we had the overall dark ski blue scheme. So I'll repair the sky, get the varnish down, and we'll come back and look at the decals.